I've got a delicious chicken recipe for you today. We're going to make ranch baked chicken. It's super simple and easy, and there's no frying needed. So you're gonna get that like crispy coating without all the oil and all the mess. It has 5-star reviews for a reason. I love this recipe. Hey, I am Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and you're gonna love today's recipe. Remember, you can grab the recipe linked in the description, or you can just go to eatingonadime.com and search baked ranch chicken. Let's get started. First, we're going to preheat the oven, to 425 degrees. So our second step is we are going to pound out our chicken. This recipe, you're going to need anywhere from 4 to 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You could do chicken thighs. You just want to make sure they're boneless and skinless, but I prefer the chicken breast for this recipe. I think it'll just be a lot easier when you're coating and everything like that. Now, you can, there's several different ways that you can pound out your chicken. You can put them in between 2 like saran wraps. But I also like to do just, I also like to just use a cutting board and then put this right on top of the chicken. So let me show you. So we're going to place out like 2 chicken breasts, cover them with a saran wrap, and what this does is prevents the chicken from splattering all over your kitchen. Separate the mess I made. Once the saran wrap is covered, you're going to pound out your chicken. Now you have 2 options. Boom, you can use a rolling pin as an option, or like a meat tenderizer, meat mallet. That's what I'm going to use today. This, you'll just hit it like this to pound it out, or you can use this. Now on a meat mallet, they usually have 2 different sides, a really bigger side and the smaller side. I like to do the smaller side so that way it doesn't like tear apart the chicken. Then you just get out all your anger and aggression. But the goal here is as you can see, chicken always has a fatter side and a skinnier side. We want to flatten out that fatter side to match that skinnier side so then it bakes evenly in the oven. Okay, we got our last chicken done. As I was pounding them out, I just been laying them over here on another plate, and then we're ready to assemble everything so we can get the breading going. It's super easy and you're gonna love it. Let me just clean up for a second. Now we're gonna set up a station. I like 2 shallow bowls because we're gonna do like an egg wash and then our batter, not batter, like our breadcrumb mixture and all the delicious seasonings. And so we're going to coat them. I kind of have it backwards, but I'm gonna change it all up once we get everything in. First, we're gonna do our eggs. We need 2 eggs in a shallow bowl. If you don't have like a really shallow bowl, you can still do like a plate that's lined, but it's a little bit harder, or like a cereal bowl. Ooh. Let me just get a tab, rinse on my fingers, and then we're gonna whisk these together. Sometimes people will add water or just a little bit of milk in here just to make the eggs go a little further, and you can do that. No judgment here. Now we're going to make our breadcrumb mixture. We have 2 cups of Panko breadcrumbs. I prefer the Panko breadcrumbs over the regular breadcrumbs because it's a thicker crumb, and then when you're baking, it makes it just taste a lot more crispy and crunchy than if you'd use a regular breadcrumb. Then we're going to need a cup of Parmesan cheese. And we are using grated Parmesan cheese. I might have to switch this out for another bowl. This is getting big. Then we're going to need a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. And last but not least, a packet of ranch seasoning mix. And we're going to then whisk this together. Okay, since my bowl was a little small, we're gonna go ahead and dump it in a slightly bigger one. I'm just doing like a baking dish, just to give me a little bit more room to mix this all around. We're just gonna mix this up real quick. And then the last thing we need to add is some shredded cheddar cheeses. So we have the ranch in there, the salt and pepper, Then we have that Parmesan cheese, and then we're gonna have shredded cheddar cheese. That's what makes this coating so delicious. Instead of just like a regular baked fried chicken, it's actually like, it's just, the coating is so good. You're gonna be impressed, and people around you are gonna be impressed with very little work. Now, let's move this out of the way real quick. I like to hand shred my cheese. If you've been watching our videos for a while, you know that by now, but it just takes a little bit of effort, and it's gonna melt so much better than if you buy the pre-shredded cheese. The pre-shredded cheese is not designed to melt. It's designed to stay separate on purpose. And so you're gonna get really stringy, and honestly, this just tastes so much better. We got the cheese shredded. I'm gonna measure it out because I think I did just a little bit too much. It doesn't have to be exact. And we're gonna dump this in and mix it together. It's gonna feel a little weird mixing the shredded cheese in there, and that's why I mixed it all together first before I added the cheese, because you're just kind of tossing it now. Okay, now I'm going to get this moved out of the way, and we are ready to coat our chicken. I like to go from left to right. That's just me, you do you. So we need chicken, then the egg wash, this, and then a baking dish. You can do a baking sheet or a baking dish, but you do want to coat it with some olive oil or a spray. I'm gonna use an avocado spray today, but olive oil and olive oil spray, any of those work great too. Then you're going to take your chicken and you're gonna do a quick dip into the egg mixture. Let it drip off, get all the excess off. Then I like to pick up a handful, lay the chicken in there, and cover it with the mixture. Make sure both sides get coated, and then place it into the baking sheet. And if you want a little bit more of that crumb topping, you can put it right on top if some of it fell off, okay? Next, now a little trick so you're not dipping your fingers is keep this as, like I messed up right when I first started, but keep this as your wet hand and this as your dry hand. So you only touch the chicken with your left hand by itself. Quick dip, do a drip. And then we're going to put it in here. See how I lifted it up? Just because they're bigger pieces, so that way you can get everything coated. When you do this system, it just makes it easier. You don't have a big hot mess. So I'm patting it in there, make sure it's getting coated good, and into the sheet it goes. I'm on my last chicken. Now, you will if you're using like a 9x13 pan baking sheet, you'll probably need 2. Or you could just do a giant cookie sheet and lay them all on there. No judgment, either one will work great. It does look really pretty in a 9x13 pan. Okay, I've got my last one going. So see, as you can see, we have 2 pans ready to go in the oven. So now I'm gonna pop these in the oven and then clean up. Now we're gonna place this in the oven. These are gonna take 25 to 30 minutes to cook. So not long at all. And we're going to cook them until the internal temperature is 165 degrees and it's nice and golden brown on top. Now when we pull them out, I'm just gonna place them on the counter on a hot plate. I like to let this rest for 5 to 10 minutes before we're gonna cut in and serve, because then the chicken juices stay all in the chicken. If you cut it too soon, then your chicken becomes really dried out and it just won't be as delicious. Okay, so we've let it rest and we're ready to dig in. I love this recipe. It is delicious. I mean, look how pretty it is. I have to take a bite before we talk about it anymore. Beautifully cooked on the inside. Tastes great every single time. That's so good. It's so good. The crust is just delicious. You just don't understand how good it is until you try it. So you've got to try this recipe. Remember, you can get the full recipe, plus we give you side dish ideas and everything on the recipe. You'll find that linked in the description, or you can just go to eatingonadime.com and search baked ranch chicken. I would serve this with some green beans and probably mashed potatoes, but even rice would be delicious. So anything will taste so good with this, and friends, it's even better left over. So you're going to love this and reheat it for another night. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't want you to miss any more of our family-friendly recipes. We're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget, and I will see you next time in my kitchen. Bye, friends.